Good morning. I think we can all agree that 2020 has been a disaster of a year, except for one thing. Joe Mama. These jokes have made a serious comeback this year, and I cannot be more proud. I've been making Joe Mama jokes since before some of you were born. I even wrote an entire piece for my graduate recital based off of a Joe Mama joke.
Joe Mama? Yeah!
This, of course, was Three Guys Named Joe, my most elaborate split-screen attempt at the time and a very unique recital piece. In this video, I will be re-performing Three Guys Named Joe and also giving you guys some tips and tricks on how you can play it, because I will be selling the sheet music for the very fair price of free. Yeah, link is in the description. Go download it right now and play it. All I ask in return is that you click that subscribe button, ring that Liberty Bell, and click that like button.
Okay, we're gonna, talk about stuff now. Yes, thank you all for coming out tonight and attending this epic performance. We want to give a shout out to a few people who helped us get to where we are today. Without them, this would not be possible. Chip Tooth, Gaylord Buttdick, and Sergeant Butthole. We also want to give a huge shout out to one extremely talented performer and very attractive man. What's my line again? Oh yeah. Thank you to myself.
Oh, that's me! Thanks, guys, thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Wait a minute! We need to thank Joe! Of course! Joe is the most important person here. Huh? Oh yeah. Good job, Joe.
Who's Joe?
Joe Mama!
So you want to play this one, do you? Maybe you don't. Maybe you just like listening to me talk. Well, either way, let's break down how you can do this. So, first thing you should know is that this is a 4-movement piece. You're gonna play the first Joe, then you play the second Joe, then the third Joe, and then for the 4th movement, you get to go out with everyone in the audience and watch yourself, and then just say that one line.
Who's Joe?
But you're going to want to record this whole thing days in advance and edit the whole thing, and that will be the video that you're going to show during the performance. And that was what I did for my graduate recital, and my intent was to edit the video that was going on during the concert and post that on YouTube later, but I had a serious technical difficulty with one of the parts and ended up screwing up a whole lot of things, so yeah, I never did that. This whole piece is kind of a big WTF until the final movement. Like, doing these all individually is just kind of silly. So even though I was screwing up for like 30 seconds straight, nobody knew, except for me. Okay, so first step to playing this is you need to get really, really good at rudimental snare drum. So practice every single day for several years. Okay, good. Now let's move on. Okay, so then you're gonna import your footage into your editing software. I am using Final Cut Pro, although no matter what editing software you're using, you should be able to do all of these effects. So then you'll cut up the 3 tracks and place them in the timeline and line it up with the click track, which I did here. You can see these first 4 rim clicks are all lined up based off of the click. Now I'm super fancy pants and did multiple scenes and multiple angles for each scene, which you don't need to do all that. You can just do the one angle from the front, which is what we're gonna be working on in this tutorial. So if we zoom in ridiculously far, you will notice that these notes in the first rim click, they are not exactly 100% lined up. And if we nudge them over, then it's even worse. It's like way off. And that's because this video is recorded in 30 frames per second, so nudging the video, that goes 1/30th of a second, which is not gonna be perfectly lined up, as you can hear if we play it. Yeah, they're not really together. And when we get into the really dense notes over here, this is gonna be bad. Okay, you see what I'm getting at. It's really dirty and not good, and that's for 2 reasons. Is one, because we can't line the clips up perfectly together, and also because you can't hear yourself when you're playing this, so it's not going to be 100% consistent. And as of December 2020, it is not possible to be in 2 separate places at once. But through the power of editing, we can fix all that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to each of these, and I'm going to extract the audio on Final Cut Pro. That is Control+Shift+S. Do that for all 3 of them. And that just brings the audio by itself down here. And you can nudge the audio a whole lot less than 30 frames per second, which is what we're gonna need to do to make this clean. Okay, so I'm just gonna disable these video clips temporarily to get the playback a little faster, and then we're gonna dive into here. So first things first, these rim clicks, these 4 rim clicks at the beginning, they're only there for you to line up the track, all right? This is there to help you. They're not gonna actually be in the video, so we're gonna make a mass cut right about here-ish. We might need to fix that later, and then we'll just delete all that crap. Okay, that was terrible. So I'll just disable one of them and then line these 2 up and then line the other one up to that. So let's see who's closer here. Okay, it looks like Joe 3 is closer than Joe 2, so we will make a cut here and here to Joe 2, move this back, and move Joe 2 back a little bit. Okay, good. Let's get Joe 1 in there, see how he sounds. Alright, that was pretty good, except for this next attack is pretty terrible. Once again, we'll disable Joe 1, and looks like Joe 2 is closer this time. So as you can see, every little like measure that I'm adjusting, I always make a cut at the end, because remember, if you move this, then that moves everything after it if there's no cut. So it's very important that you don't move everything, alright? You just want to move the part you're trying to fix. Okay, let's see how Joe 1 sounds. Pretty good except for the attack. Let's move, I think he's a little bit late. Yeah, very nice. Okay, I think you guys get the point of how this works. So this is just like the first 3 bars, and you gotta do that for the entire piece. It takes quite some time. Okay, great, let's move on to the video. How to get the split screen. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take just Joe 1 and undisable that. Then we're gonna go over here to the effects, and I'm gonna drag this crop and feather effect into that. So I'm gonna do 25 feather. If your lighting was not consistent, you might need to do a higher number than that, but 25 seems to work for me. And then we're gonna increase the height to go the whole length of the video, and then I'm gonna drag position X so that this cut is in between players 1 and 2, right about there. Okay, so then let's undisable Joe 2, and then we will copy and paste the effects of Joe 1. So we're gonna do Command C to copy, click on Joe 2, Option Command V, paste effects, and we're going to drag position X in between Joe 2 and 3, right about there. And then we will undisable Joe 3, and then that should be it. That's all we gotta do. And then I'll just scroll through the timeline to make sure nobody goes off of their split screen. I think this part, everyone just stayed behind their drum. Yep, looks good. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how I did the part where the Joes steal each other's stick and throw it back and forth to each other. Those of you who watched the original Three Guys Named Joe, you'll know that this part was not in there, and that's because, well, I was a noob video editor at that time and didn't know how to do all this, but, well, now I do, and I'm gonna teach you. So, okay, right now the split screen is exactly the same as the last one. All of the same steps were taken, but we gotta do some extra stuff, because you can see, this is when Masked Guy goes over to Little Peanut's drum, and you'll see him just disappear. And then Manny goes in, his arm goes away. We gotta fix all this, all right? It's a little bit complicated, so try to keep up. You will need to set up an extra stick off screen next to Joe's 3 and 1, so that they have something to catch. And I mean, you could also have a friend throw it to you from off the stage, but, well, I have no friends, so I had to set one up. So, okay, let's go to the part right when Masked Guy starts walking over there. And we are going to select the Joe number 1 clip, come up here into the crop and feather, and click on this point. And then if I click Control+V on the clip, you will see that a point was made right there. And that's how we can keep track of where we're at. Okay, so now we're gonna go to when Masked Guy gets there, right around here. And now we are going to drag the position X of the crop and feather right to the middle of the drum. If I go this slow, you can see the sticks change because, well, Lil Peanut is holding the sticks. They aren't in the bag. I guess next time I do this kind of video, I'll make sure to take the sticks out of the stick bag so that we are 100% accurate. Okay, so this looks good while they're playing until Manny's arm gets cut off. So we gotta adjust the Joe number 2 clip. We'll go right to when he starts walking right there. Highlight Joe 2, Control+V to bring up the animation. And then same thing, go up to the crop and feather, click the transform points, and then go to where he grabs the stick, and then drag position X to the middle of the drum. And then we'll follow him back, because then Masked Guy comes over and he'll get cut off right there. We'll go to there, and then drag position X back towards Manny McMahon. And then we're gonna have to do that a couple more times. I think Lil Peanut's gonna get cut off when he comes back to his drum, yep. But let's see how this looks so far. I think it should be fine. Goes over, oh, it's like magic. Oh, more magic. Oh my goodness, the power of editing. Okay, so those are all the tips and tricks that you should need to be able to do this. If you have any further questions, please compose that down below in the comments. I will do my best to respond to all of them. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you click that subscribe button, ring that Liberty Bell, and click that like button. And also consider buying a custom t-shirt, such as this one. I will leave that link in the description. And have a good morning.